Soboslai towards Isak Gakpo, goal! Liverpool level the game up. Cody Gakpo was the player that was the most alive inside the penalty area.
Redheads.
So sick.
Redheads. Welcome to Redheads, your West Coast-based Liverpool Football Club podcast.
Number one.
My name is Ian Locke, and I am joined, as always, by my dear friend. And you probably heard of the lovable lads from Liverpool, but this is my lovable lad who likes Liverpool, James Morris. James, how are you?
Ian, in spite of that lovely introduction, I'm not great. You sound like you're coming in with a bit of a negative energy, and I am too. It's been a long week for us redheads.
Yeah, I'm a little soured out. I just rewatched the highlights of the game, which not fun, not something I relish doing. And honestly,
that's our job. We got to rewatch.
Hey, we signed the contract. We signed this deal with the devil, you know? And we probably should have done this podcast last year. But I digress. Real quick, James. Lovable lads from Liverpool, aka the Beatles. The Beatles are from Liverpool. Are you a Beatles fan?
Not much. I gotta be honest.
I was gonna say, you've never mentioned them before. Nary a whisper.
The Beatles or Stones debate, eternal Beatles Stones debate. I'm a stoner.
Right. Oh, you're interesting. If you're really cool, you'd be like, I'm actually a Kinks fan. I like the Kinks, actually. That's what a real cool person would do. I like the Stones.
Limited style.
Yeah. Give me your favorite Beatles song, because I don't really want to talk about the game right now. So let's give me your favorite Beatles song, James. Just give me a Beatles song.
No, yeah, my favorite is obvious, and it's something I wish the Redheads had done for me on Saturday. Don't Let Me Down.
Oh, that's a good one. Rooftop Beatles. I love it. That's right.
You've heard it.
James likes the Beatles. We got it on record. Anyway, yeah, James, I 3 losses in a row. It's it's times like these when I'm really happy that I've been able to master the emotion, just like an emotional regulation. These used to be.
You would say that you mastered it.
I would say so. I think I'm pretty level-headed now.
Okay.
Hey, don't look at our text
Noted.
chain though. But
what did he pull?
We don't need to get into it. But yeah, 3 losses in a row. We sit 1 point behind Arsenal now. We were 5 points ahead. Now we are 1 point behind, and we are in second place. Things could be worse. I would say that right now. Guys, we're going to talk about Chelsea versus Liverpool. I didn't mention that up top, but we will get into it. But first, we kind of need to kind of decompress a little bit.
Gotta air out some grievances a little bit.
Gotta air it out. So, as you said, I am a little bummed. I'm a little kind of just perplexed, I guess, confused. I just don't know what to think about this team right now. Because I think we went into the season very positive. We got 2 amazing players. We had a few really great players left the club. We suffered a horrible loss. So it's just very confusing. And the season started off really high because we won 5 out of 5 with a couple late minute winners, and that was amazing. And now it kind of feels like a back to reality, almost like we're hitting the mean of what we were supposed to be expecting at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of talk for. I'm feeling just okay, James. Thank you for asking, though.
All things considered, 5 wins out of 7. That's a pretty decent start. It's still more than 2 points per game. It's really it's the ordering of the results that's problematic. And also, like you were mentioning, back-to-back 90 or stoppage time. Well, back-to-back, that's right, in the Champions League too. But in the Premier League, there were 2 stoppage time winners. which that's supposed to be our thing. It doesn't feel as good to be on the receiving end.
No.
Look, sometimes you get beat and you got to stomach that, but not often that you get beat 3 times in a row in such dramatic fashion. It's a little tougher to take.
Yeah, I think the thing I'm dealing with right now is the fact that we're losing. It just doesn't feel like we're going out there trying to win the game, or win a game, and of these last 3. And that sounds dumb, but it just feels like if we were out there and you could tell that some I don't know, some semblance of a plan was in place these last 3 games, then okay, that sucks. We lost 3 in a row. You lose games. That's just the way the sport works. But the fact that we're losing these games, and also you're just like, what am I watching? Like, what exactly is happening? That's like the part where it's a little bitter. It's a bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah, and not to draw too much of a parallel, but right now, so I talked last week about how the lineups against Palace and against Galatasaray were all about Slot trying to figure out how to make Wirtz work. Playing him on the left, but then allowing him to play in the middle. So we essentially had that box midfield, which was a failure. Yeah. And then it was benching Salah and playing Frimpong, with whom Wirtz has some chemistry because they played together in Leverkusen.
Right.
And then now today, or Saturday rather, Wirtz starts on the bench. And so it reminds me a lot of the 14-15 Rodgers season, which is when he was not doing well, Rodgers that is. And then he switched to the back 3 and a box midfield, and suddenly we won, 9 out of 10, whatever. Right. We went on a good run. But the thing is, he was just throwing spaghetti at the wall, and then a noodle stuck. And then it came unstuck sort of dramatically, and all really culminated in that like 7-1 or 6-1 final day loss to
Stoke City. Gerrard's last game.
And really awesome. Though. He did score.
Hey man, what a send off!
I don't think it's nearly as dire, but the chopping and changing is sort of equally as dramatic right now.
Again, like I can't stress enough how good we have it. The fact that we lost 3 in a row is annoying, but I think that's just what it is. It's an annoyance. I don't think alarm bells should be ringing, but it is interesting that what you were just saying was the fact that we've been changing the team a lot this season. Yep. And last year, again, we win the title, and there's like parallels to the 1920 winning season where we don't do anything in the summer. We just buy Minamino in January, but other than that, the entire team stays put, and it's pretty much just we're gonna go with this team, and then we end up winning the title. Last season, Klopp leaves, we bring Chiesa in, but there's still the structure, and Slot is able to use that to his advantage, I guess, and we win the title, which was amazing. Now this season, we see that he's given us a few different lineups. It just does not feel like he knows what his best team is. Like you said, we're not playing Wirtz this game. He's playing the previous game. It's almost like we're trying to fit round pegs into square holes a little bit. And I don't know, at this point, I'm like, we should just kind of go. It's interesting because I want us to stick with what we did last year, which is kind of that 4-3-3 with the midfield being McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai, and your front 3. But you can't really do that this year because the players that were carrying your water last season are not playing that well. McAllister has looked kind of like a shadow of himself, and he was arguably one of our best players last season, and he looks not great. Salah looks miles off it. Again, he was amazing last season. So these players that you kind of want to, or you think you should be relying on, they're not doing their job. And these new players are kind of looking around being like, okay, like how do I fit into this system? So it's interesting. I'm excited to see. I'm like morbidly curious to see how Slot figure this out, because I know he will. Why are you laughing?
Well, I think morbidly curious is a dark way to put it.
Well, just because I'm like, it might just
corpse.
It just might get worse before it gets better, is what I mean. But yeah, and like you alluded to for this game. So let's get into it. Oh boy, Stamford Bridge, Chelsea. 9:30 kickoff, which was actually really nice for us West Coast boys.
That was a nice, relaxing sleep in. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the exact same thing you were going to say. We sleep in, make a little coffee, rise and shine. We don't wake when the rooster crows. Is that a saying?
Absolutely.
Great. And I looked at the lineup and I was pretty excited. We played what kind of looked like a 4-3-3. A few changes. Mamardashvili is starting in goalkeeper because Allison will be out.
Unnecessary change, sadly.
Yeah, it's extremely annoying when you have the best keeper who's also the most injury prone. You have Kirkes.
Yep.
That's right. Kirkes left back, Van Dijk, Konate your center backs, and you have Bradley as a right back. You have McAllister, Gravenberch as your kind of two holding midfielders. And then you have Gakpo. I guess it could have been a 4-2-3-1. It could have been a 4-3-3, depending on the shape.
Well, I think it was a reversion to the midfield that you were talking about last year's.
Yeah.
It's almost like Gravenberch and McAllister.
Right. I think you had Gravenberch in the 6, and you had McAllister and Szoboszlai as your 2-8s. And then you had Gakpo, Isak, and Salah as your front 3. So, like, looking at that, you're like, okay, great. It kind of feels like a revert to norms. And then when you look at the Chelsea lineup, I mean, I don't really know. I won't say I follow Chelsea, but the narrative right now for this season is that they are having a center back crisis. They're having a center back crisis, and they're playing Badiashile, who's like, I guess he's like somewhat decent. I don't think he got that many minutes last year. But then his partner is 19-year-old Josh, I never know how to pronounce his name, Achimpong, I guess. But he's a 19-year-old, right? So you kind of look at this, and also they have Sanchez as a goalkeeper, and he's horrible.
He's 20 out of 20 as far as I'm concerned. He's the worst keeper in the league.
He's garbage. I mean, they have a decent team. They have a good midfield. You know, we like Caicedo. We like Fernandez. Those are good players. But you look at the lineups and you kind of think, okay, this is kind of this is a good time to play Chelsea. This is this is a game that we should be taking advantage of. And it just didn't seem that way. You and I talked about this before we started recording, is that it just felt like a basketball game. It felt like both teams knew that they had opportunities to score. And honestly, Chelsea looked kind of, they had the more attacking impetus, I would say, especially being at home.
Yeah, and the first half, I mean, obviously they scored pretty early, and I guess that tears up a game plan pretty annoyingly.
Absolutely.
But we were not at the races again.
No.
It's now, well, certainly 3 games, but even before, going back to the good old winning times, it's too often for me. We are having terrible first halves and then making Slot's making changes at halftime, which he does again today or Saturday.
Yeah.
And it just leaves me asking myself, what is it that he sees with the game right in front of him that he can't see preparing during the week? Why can't he make those adjustments before the first half as opposed to halftime?
I mean, yeah, I would argue that I haven't seen us complete a solid 90 minutes this season. Like you said, it's either the first half is really good and the second half we capitulate, we just look awful, or vice versa. And yeah, it's interesting that he, like you said, he's able to see the game in front of him, or like essentially what does he not see? Because, as a man, you can make changes, you can make adjustments throughout the game. You don't need halftime to make, your subs and what have you. But yeah, so, and like you said, the game plan goes out the window because Chelsea scores in the 14th minute, and it's such a bummer because, I think Liverpool weren't really testing the waters in those first 30 minutes, or at least those first 15 before Chelsea scores.
Right.
And it was a lot of side-by-side passing. They weren't really taking them to the sword at all. And again, I go back to our midfield that have just, they looked good besides McAllister. I would say Caicedo, or not, excuse me, Dominic and Gravenberch both have looked good very individually. They've looked great. But as a threesome, they just do not look like a cohesive unit. And when you look at that goal from Caicedo, there's no midfield presence from Liverpool. He's able just to go past McAllister with such ease. No one presses him. None of our center backs press him. And he's able to score from 25 yards out. And it's a great goal, but it's a goal that you almost feel like could have been prevented by someone trying to put a leg out, or like any physical presence.
Right. And they didn't put him off in the slightest. I mean, he essentially had a training shot, I wasn't that good, but if you give me 18 yards and no defenders, I could hit it into the goal. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
10 times out of what, James?
For me, probably 10 out of 1,000. But,
okay.
But that's 10 worldies.
That's true. Those 10 are good goals.
My point is, somebody like Caicedo, just anyone who's Premier League quality with nothing but time from the edge of the box is going to be able to score that, 3 out of 5, maybe.
Yeah.
So on one hand, yes, it's a screamer, but on the other hand, just the door couldn't have been more open. And the midfield was really where the problem lied there. But one of Van Dijk and Konate, somebody's got to step forward.
Well, you look at Van Dijk and he almost looks behind him to make sure there's not a runner, but he's right in line with Konate. So the fact that he's able to see who, like, there's Liverpool players behind him, like one of them could step up,
right,
to make him at least take a shot. Like, so he doesn't. I think Caicedo even takes like an extra touch to like set up his shot. So it is just very frustrating. And again, it just feels like no player, like the team is not confident with one another. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And then that's Konate and Van Dijk, players who have, two guys who've been in the same backline since 2022, I want to say, when we signed Konate. Meaning, again, this is not a problem of new signings. And it shouldn't be a problem of chemistry. These people know each other.
Yeah, that's the confusing part. So, yeah, like I said, so Chelsea scores, and it's kind of like you said, game plan at the window. And, Liverpool do some things. I think you and I talked on a couple episodes that we wanted to see more balls over the top, things like that. One positive thing I will say about this game, dude, Marmadashvili has a cannon arm.
Yeah, he prefers to throw it out than to kick it.
It's truly insane. It's truly, like, every time he got the ball and you'd expect him to kick it, he just like throws, like he's I don't know. I was gonna say a football player. Then yeah, I guess so. Sure.
Yeah. Hey, we can relate to that over here.
There you go. But they were trying to play those balls over the top, and the thing that's been a little iffy for this game especially is I just don't think Gakpo and Salah, they just don't have the pace or like, especially with like, they almost look like they're going to do the exact same thing every time, which is they're going to get the ball and they're going to try to cut in every single time. They're never going to try to go past the defender out wide, use the width of the pitch. They're always going to cut inside. And I feel like now every single opposing defender knows that. And it's just very frustrating. I thought, obviously, Gakpo scores the goal. We'll talk about that later. But him and Salah, like, there's a few times Salah got in behind and he just made an awful decision in the final third. But, like, those balls over the top, they almost feel meaningless. And at this point, I don't know what our outlet is. Like, because we don't have the fluidity in the midfield. We don't have the midfield to forward, like, I want to say telepathy, but that's not, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just no connection. There's nothing cooking there. So the ball over the top from, what used to be Trent, and you'd be able to do a crossfield ball and it was great. We could get out of it. We just don't have that. And it's just, I just don't know how, I just don't know what a Liverpool attack looks like right now, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, we don't have the guy to play the ball. Trent's gone. And we also don't have the guy to receive it. Diaz is gone too. He was the one who reliably could, run a ball down the channel or even receive a ball, back to goal and hold it up. He was pretty good at that too. I don't think Gakpo really brings either to the table. Not to be negative about Gakpo. But, you listed that lineup a couple of minutes ago, and I really think that the exact same lineup, but you swap Diaz in for Gakpo, or really just a pacey winger, someone with pace, Frimpong.
Yes.
And it feels so different.
Absolutely. And that's the thing too, and you and I have touched on this before, is that, we're not really using our fullbacks the way we have in the past, like especially with Klopp teams, where it was like those galloping, marauding fullbacks that would go up and down the pitch. Obviously, Robertson can't really do that, but we bought 2 fullbacks this season that are fast, that have pace. And Kirkez is not really there. I don't know if he's like been instructed to not do that or what.
At this point, it feels like he must have been told.
He must be, because he just does not feel like the player that we bought. which is essentially like when he gets the ball, he's almost afraid to carry it forward, and no one's really passing it to him, so we don't really have that. And then with Bradley, I don't know, like I don't know. It's confusing.
I like Bradley. He's clearly out of form right now, but so is Frimpong. But I still would like to see, fitness permitting. I know that actually they both came back from hamstring injuries. Yeah. But I want to see a run of games where we just stick to like Frimpong, and see what happens.
Right. We need to see a relationship from on the left side and the right side between those two players, between your left back and your left wing and your right back and your right wing. And that's why I'm like, at this point, we just need to keep playing the same team, even if they're not in form. But as of this point, I would definitely put Frimpong over Bradley just because he has that pace. He has that recovery pace if he loses the ball.
Right. It's a new dimension that the team just does not have.
Yeah. And again, Bradley, I also like Bradley. He's had some great moments. But like he consistently gets an early yellow card, and he always just puts him out of the game because then he just doesn't know. And
he looks like a walking red card. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it sucks because did he get the yellow card for Garnacho? Was that the dive that he got the yellow card? Or was it
not like the main dive, but it was another dive. Yeah.
Garnacho is he's a son of a bitch. He's wily.
I couldn't have put it better. He's a son of a bitch.
And he's hard to play against, and he knows like he'll force the decision for the ref to like give the other player
right, and the ref's being clueless.
Yeah,
I mean when he takes that ridiculous dive for the pen, and the ref doesn't give it rightfully, but at that point, if you see him go down, you know that it's not a pen, give him a yellow. Book the diving.
I know. Real quick on Kirkus, he did have a couple good moments. I think in the 32nd minute, this is when we're trying to get back into the game. We're already down. And he does have a pretty good like 1-2 with Gakpo. He gets into the box and he plays, I think he should have shot, but he plays the weakest pass attempt to Salah and it goes straight to Sanchez. And there's a moment of like, okay, like again, that's like a run, a play that I've seen him do before. So you kind of see the idea, but it just does not come to fruition. And we just never do that again. We just like never utilize that. It was strange.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It honestly seems to be personal between Gakpo and Kirkes. Like,
but Gakpo never used. He just does not use he always cuts inside. He never uses a player like an out ball. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right, like the overlapping run. He doesn't make that
James.
pass. Yeah.
The overlapping run.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, but what I mean to say, like he ignores Kirkes to such an extent that like it seems like he came over for dinner one night and made just like the wrong comment to his parents.
Yeah, he really tore up the bathroom, and ever since then he's just like, came and look at him. I came past to him.
I mean, we're gonna get more out of Kirkes inevitably, well, because we're getting nothing right now. But I don't think that he's not really the problem right now.
No.
And the other thing that I would say about Kirkes, sadly, is that you said that he makes the overlapping run. They have that nice 1-2, and then he just plays sort of a mindless pass to Mo that Sanchez catches.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of who I think this guy is. I think that you might as well blindfold him when he plays the cross. He doesn't know where it's going.
Yeah, but I'm like, he still gets in the areas. He gets into good spots. Like he knows that. Right. He did it all last season. So that's why I'm just like,
the corridor of uncertainty.
Keep doing that. Yeah, exactly. You don't know what's going to happen.
One of them's going to go in, even if it goes in off of Badiashile.
That was the good part about Kirkes' game. The bad part happened 5 minutes later when he like basically pulls out of a challenge, like a 50-50 ball to Neto. Like he just completely they're both going for the ball. Kirkes could just put a foot out and get the ball, and he doesn't. He just pulls out. Neto gets the ball, and it's only from a good save from Konate that we're not down another big opportunity. But it's like things like that where I'm like, my guy, like it's games like this where you just need to put a tackle in, do something, like get your team motivated. Because again, like I don't know what the on switch is, because it's not a goal.
Right.
Like,
I mean, play. You're a player. Play the game. What are you doing?
Yeah. And you're a defender. Defend the ball or get the ball.
Good point.
Thank you, James. I'm full of them. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this first half, there's not that much to say. There was that beautiful ball, I think, before halftime from Salah, the outside the boot.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. The nicest part of the first half, for sure.
Yeah. Again, and we haven't talked about Salah because there's nothing to talk about because he's just been anonymous, and then when he tries to position himself in the game, it just comes off all wrong. But that pass was amazing. I think Isak should have scored. It was a perfect header.
I do too. I think
head the ball down, my guy.
Yeah, he had the height on it. It wasn't sort of out of reach, as you might say. And yeah, he skies it. You got to get that on target. I think that's Isak. I mean, look, that's a tough chance, but that's why you sign the best players, to score the tough chances.
Yeah, and you could argue that, he's still getting up to speed, but you'd think someone of his caliber just has that instinctive finish, in his back pocket, but that's fine. So we go into the half, 1-0 down. And I don't know, I still, I think Slot's subs have been kind of like a coin toss. You never know what you're going to get. Like you said, you as the viewer watching the game from above, you're able to see what the issues are and what the changes should be. Obviously, you're not the coach, so he's not going to, listen to you. But if only. But going into the half, was there a player that you wanted to see? Was there anything that was crying? Obviously, hindsight 2020. Was there someone? Chiesa has been getting a lot of, support from the fan base of just being let's just bring him in because he's kind of the hot hand. But is there a particular player or something you want to try differently in this game, especially going into halftime?
Honestly, I wanted to see Wirtz. The change that was made is the one that I was hoping to see. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be Bradley, although I totally get it because he was piss poor.
And he had the yellow. He had
the yellow. That's right.
Yeah.
I could have also seen it being McAllister, sort of like for like change in midfield. But no, I thought Wirtz made sense. I wanted to see Chiesa, but I didn't want to see him necessarily right on the 45. Although, to be honest, the way Gakpo's been playing, I really wouldn't have minded to see an entire half of Federico.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, you're not going to know until you do it. So at this point, I mean, Gakpo does score. Salah has a couple, not even want to say contributions, he didn't do anything, but at some point we're just going to need a couple
chances.
Yeah, we're going to need to see Chiesa in the game. But like you said, Wirtz does come in the second half. He goes on for Bradley, which means Dominic Szoboszlai goes back to right back. And that's another thing too, where I'm just I don't know. It just feels why are we... Look, okay, Dominic Szoboszlai has been very good at right back. He's been very good.
He's been our best fullback. He's been our best, not just right back, but
exactly.
Yeah.
But at some point, he's going to have to play in the midfield because he's one of our best midfielders, and that's what we bought him for. And I just feel every time we put him in right back, it just feels it just kind of feels unnecessary. You can make a for swap. I think Gomez was on the bench. You could have put Gomez on Frimpong was on the bench if you were really worried about the yellow card. But I'm also at this point, I'm players get yellow cards. You kind of just have to trust the players in order to ensure that they don't lose their head or make the mistake. And if they do, okay, well, that was a chance. But I'm kind of done seeing Dominic going to right back. And then anyway, all things considered, Wirtz goes into midfield. And right when the game starts, you could see the kind of what we were missing.
Yeah.
Again, Wirtz is a ball carrier. He will get the ball and he will run, and he's great with the ball at his feet.
He was bringing that telepathy that you were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
He had that connective tissue between midfield and attack.
Yeah,
he brought it within seconds.
And I can't believe that nothing came from that. I was going to say he was Professor Xaviering.
He would look good bald. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
He would look good bald. Yeah, he plays a great... I don't remember the full extent of the play, but essentially he gets the ball, carries it, passes to, I don't remember if he gets the ball to Mo or to Gakpo, but eventually
he gets the ball back, or maybe Gakpo gets it back, but and then Gakpo feeds it to him. He's in the mid. He's like right on the D outside of the box, and he's almost like does a pirouette.
Yes, that's what
flick.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes. Amazing.
And it was so nice, and it was exactly where you wanted it. He wouldn't have played it any better if he had been standing.
Perfect skill. Yeah, perfect skill. But sadly, the ball goes to Mo Salah, and he misses the chance. And you think last year he would have scored that. Maybe, potentially. It's a kind of a tight angle, but
he's scored a pretty similar goal against Chelsea, actually, where he was played in right down that channel and hit it right-footed at the near post. He beats the keeper at his near post. So you're really hoping that happens again, of course, but you've definitely got to get it on target. I mean, the finishing, especially on Saturday, was brutal to sit through.
And especially from Salah, which is just which is annoying. But we keep trying the ball over the top, and then the 52nd minute we get another one for Salah, which he does win, and I think it was him against Betty Chile.
Yep.
And there was a few opportunities to pass that I think both Isak, Gakpo, and Wirtz were kind of all in Chelsea's box, and I think he could have just shifted the ball to one of them. He could have passed it, any of them. And instead he shoots, and he just goes over the bar. And you could see the reaction from all the other players, and they're just like, my God, what are you doing?
It was my reaction too.
And that's the thing with Salah too. It's because obviously we've relied on him so heavily the entirety he's been here, and we know he's good for these chances. And I think he knows too. So that's why he's like, if anyone can do it, it should be me. I can do this. I can score. I'm the one that needs to contribute. And it's just weird because he also was the leading assister last season, right? He could just pass the ball, Mo. Just pass the ball.
Yeah. He, every forward has sort of a selfish vein in them to an extent, but clearly Mo has no problem passing. He got 19 assists, or I guess he ended up with 18 in the league. But personally, I think that he knows that he's been off it. He's feeling the pressure, and also we'd lost 2 in a row. So there's pressure coming from sort of all sides, and he just thinks, I'm doing this. He thinks it's all on his shoulders, and because it was last season, and you see the result. He ignores 3 players in a better position, and then he blasts it to space. I mean, that ball might have left the stadium.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But no, it wasn't great. Gosh,
but it was well worked.
It was, and that was the thing too. Seeing Florian in those positions, you can see, he literally injected life, into the team, and we just needed someone to attack. So, and he was willing to do that, because it felt like a lot of the times, especially early on in the game, there's just a lot of side to side passing. And every time when the ball would come back to Konate or Van Dijk, they would just hold on to the ball for just way too long. And then it would give Chelsea all the time they needed to reset their line, reset their defense. And it just was so confusing. Nothing's rapid anymore. That's the thing. We're very, very, we're way too pedestrian on the ball, and we're just holding it for too long, and we're not able to make our minds. And we just need someone who is just give me the ball. Let's go.
Right, just a little bit of tempo. I mean, Henderson would do wonders in this team. Henderson really at his best. You just don't want to see. I don't want to see, basically a player in possession come to a complete stop in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
that's just not what we're here to see. And we do it a lot. The number of times that the ball ends up with Konate or Van Dijk, and they literally just come to a complete stop. There's no pressure from Chelsea because they know that where the ball is, there's just no threat. And then we just pass the ball back and forth between our center backs and don't look to create a thing. No urgency, no creativity, no plan, like you were saying before. I mean, what is the intent? I don't think they could tell you.
I know. And then again with the subs, so yeah, around the 56-minute mark, Konate goes off, which was very surprising. I think it was due to an injury. At least that's what Slot said. But you have him going off, and then you have Gravenberch going in to that center back slot, which he's done before. And then you have Jones coming on, and I think Robertson comes on for Kirkes, which is just a like-for-like swap for the most part. I didn't think we looked that bad with Gravenberch in the center back role. Like, obviously, I don't want to see that because he's so good, but having someone back there with the passing range and the passing ability that he has, definitely kind of felt like an advantage to us.
Yeah, I know. I actually think that it helped. I think teams in general have sort of identified Konate as the player to give the ball to.
Absolutely.
Like no reason to press him because he's not going to create anything with it. And suddenly you've got Gravenberch there who is phenomenal with the ball at his feet. But like you're saying, there's only one of them. We want him, especially when chasing a goal, you want him as close to the box as you can get him. And he's obviously not doing that at center back. And we'll come to this later too, but now the back four is the back four that started the game, only one is remaining, Van Dijk. We've literally swapped both the fullbacks and the center back at this point, and two of our back line are midfielders, and
it just must be so confusing. Like, it must be.
I think that it paid, or the confusion. You see the confusion with with Chelsea's goal, which we'll come to later.
I actually don't want to. I don't want to talk about that.
I know. I don't want to talk about it either, but somebody's got to do it.
We should do like a Goosebumps podcast instead. Talk about Goosebumps books.
It is that time of year.
Spooky season. Yeah.
Quick sidebar. I've never seen Scream. That's what I was doing just before jumping on here.
What a great movie. Did you like it?
Well, I haven't finished it, but I was liking it so far. I mean,
where are you at?
Not that far, half an hour in.
Oh, James, you're in for a delight, my friend. It's like truly, I remember it's the only scary movie franchise I could stomach, and they're great. They're terrific.
I can't wait. And you know what? I'm going to enjoy it a lot more than I enjoyed the second half of this game. Although, look, I will say between 45 and 75, we've done a lot of sort of complaining, honestly. But we created chances. Mo missed a lot of them, sadly. Yeah. We scored in the 61st, which we haven't really cut into, but
let's talk about
really
that now.
Incredible.
Let's do that now.
Let's talk about it.
A true visionary touch by Alexander Isak. I was listening to the commentary back, and the guy, I forgot who the commentator was, but he was saying that it was for him. Like, that touch was for Isak. Like, he was setting himself up. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. He saw Gakpo running, and he just truly like pirouette cushioned it. It was a great cross by Dominic too into the box. Pirouettic, is that a word? Pirouettic touch by Isak for Gakpo. Gakpo was able to slam it into the net. It was beautiful. It was truly just what we needed in that moment. Obviously.
The touch was immaculate. It was crazy. Like the way that he was able to cushion it, sort of with the ball coming in at speed off the ground, it was wild. And it couldn't have been directed more perfectly into Gakpo's path. I'm with you. The commentator is wrong. He was playing it to Gakpo 100%.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, because if it was for him, the ball would. There would be no he wouldn't be able to shift his feet in order to do anything with that ball. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway,
he would have volleyed it first time if Gakpo wasn't there.
Yeah. So it was a great goal by Gakpo. And again,
and a great assist.
A great and beautiful assist.
He's off the mark.
That's right. Gakpo is interesting. We've already talked about him so much, but like, he's just an interesting player. I think seeing him in the lineup day in, day out, I do like him. I do understand the quality that he has, but it really does make you miss someone who is as explosive as like a Diaz, or I don't know. And again, I like Gakpo more than most people. I think some people just view him as like a one-trick pony.
I mean, I view him as a one-trick pony. When that trick is working, it's great to watch, but otherwise it seems like he just doesn't bring a lot else to the table.
I know. It's a little disappointing, but good goal by him, I suppose. But yeah, a few minutes later, too, Wirtz with another chance, another great pass to Salah, and again, he shoots it over the bar. And like you said, we kept having chances. I kind of wish we saw Wirtz from the start. I feel like this would have been a great game for him. Again, against a defense that was lacking any...
right, and not a low block.
And exactly, not a low block. That's the thing, too, is that this kind of feels like the perfect game for him because it wasn't. Chelsea were not going to be on the defensive end because they lost. I think they lost their last game too. Like they needed a win as well.
I think they'd lost to Brighton.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know because we're gonna have to talk about the goal.
So look, we do equalize like we've been mentioning, and
absolutely
then we have a few more chances. I think up through, like I said, about 75. We look the most likely to score. If there's a winner in this game, it's us.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, it seemed like that, but then from 75 on, it felt like both teams were like, we can win this. Like it just felt so back and forth, so end to end.
Well, at 75, Chelsea make a triple substitution.
Yeah.
Bring on 3 attackers. And I think at that point, well, first of all, bringing on 3 attackers, that's going to introduce the basketball like you're talking about, back and forth,
right.
But it wrested any control that we had, and we never had a chance to get it back.
Yeah. Obviously, around that period, we bring Ekitike on for Isak, which is just a like for like, and, just managing minutes. He did not seem that into the game. Again, it just did not. I don't know. I would have liked to seen Isak stay longer because it felt like he was kind of getting a handle on the game. And again, it's like sometimes you just need to leave the player in. Like, you don't always, actually you do, you should listen to your sports science people, but like sometimes you're just like, we need to win this game. Like we're going to leave Isak in.
I agree. I think that he was really coming into his own. I mean, first of all, he created the goal in the 60th, but he seemed like he had that game, like he had the feel of the game at that point, more so than almost anybody else on the pitch. And I'm not a sports scientist. That might surprise you.
You are a scientist though.
I'm a scientist, right? But it's not related to sports. It's a lot more.
What is it?
I actually don't like to talk about it on camera, but I'll send you a text.
Are you making the Hulk formula? You're dabbling in gamma radiation.
It's chemical X, actually. It's power.
Okay. Oh, of course. Sorry.
Yeah. But what was I saying?
I don't know.
The sports. I'm not a sports scientist, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's a legend. But look, he didn't have a preseason because he had to throw his toys out the pram, so to speak, in order to get.
Wait, can I stop you really fast? Go
ahead.
What does that mean?
Throw his toys out the pram?
Every single football podcast, English football podcast, everyone says that. What does that mean?
Oh, I couldn't tell you, dude. I'm just parroting it from British podcasts.
What's a pram?
I mean, it's got to be that just little toy,
like a playpen,
like a playpen. Like that, yeah.
Okay.
And you throw your toys out of it when you want to get a transfer to Liverpool.
Can I give you another one too that I keep hearing, and I'm sick of it.
Give it to me.
Horses for courses. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm with you on horses for courses because are you what's going on here? It's a jockey who has a bunch of horses and one day it's raining, one day it's grass, and it's making that much of a difference. Do you know your horses well?
I'm not going to pretend I know.
You're not a horse scientist.
Obviously not. I was trying to think of what's the scientific word for horses. I was going to say bovine, but that's like cattle.
I don't know, like husbandry maybe?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, James.
You want the Latin word?
A Latin word?
Latin word. Like Clydesdale. I'm not gonna.
Right.
Moving on.
Yes.
It's October is my point, and so he missed the preseason. That's true, but he's been training now for more than a month, and at a certain point, you go from red to green, and you can play 90 minutes. And when's that going to come? I don't know. Maybe it's after this international break. I don't know what the plan is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at this point, I truly hope Slot's like, okay, I need to figure out my best team, and I'm going to play that team. Like until there's an injury or I'm forced to make some change. I think we just need to see consistency within the group of players. And again, maybe, I don't know, because part of me is like, I don't want to see McAllister in this team for a minute because I'm truly sick and tired of seeing him play.
Well, right. I mean, we start the game with Isak, McAllister, and Bradley, all three of whom are planned subs by the 75th. And you can't start every game unable to you're tactically inflexible because that you can't make too many changes with the upcoming, sports science changes that you're going to have to make between 60 and 75 every game. And get in shape, guys. Get in shape.
I know. And then I think the worst example of this is the Endo sub. We bring Endo on 86th minute. And usually that means when Endo has come on in the past, look, I love the Gum Shield Warrior. I love him. But when he's come on the past, it usually meant that we were winning. And it's a close game and we just want to shut up shop.
Right.
It's 1-1. Like, I guess I do understand the idea of a point away at Chelsea is a good point. Or that's something
especially
that we
given
used.
The fact that we have lost 2 games in a row.
That's true. That's a good point. But I'm also like, I don't know. I just said at that moment, I'm like, he comes on for, who does he come on for? He comes on for
Kirkes. No, sorry, for McAllister.
For McAllister. So, okay. But I would have just liked to see anybody else, honestly. I don't know. I think I was a little frustrated with him. Again, he doesn't even seem like he's winning his 50-50 challenges. He doesn't feel like he's winning the ball. He just doesn't seem like he's making an impact when he comes on. And that was the sub where I'm just like, okay, I guess we're gonna do this. And what makes it worse is that we lose the game.
Well, so like you're saying, you bring on Endo to shut up shop, and we weren't winning, but you want to leave with a point. Fair enough. But at that point now, we have Robertson's come on, so we've made 3 changes in the back line.
Yeah.
2 of our back 4 are midfielders. McAllister's come off. Endo hasn't looked great since March of last season.
Yeah.
But then you say all that, but we didn't shut up shop.
I know.
We kept playing in exactly the same manner that we've been playing the entire game. So kind of chasing a goal, kind of not chasing a goal, really out of control. And so if you're going to take a point, if you're going to shake hands on 1-1, then do that. And what happened by bringing on Endo, well, I don't know what happened. I don't understand why it happened that way. But given how we ended up playing the last 10 minutes, it should have been Chiesa who came on.
Yeah, again, and then as someone who obviously has an eye for goal, who has scored, who, would light up the away fans. I don't know. He would just bring a positivity to Liverpool. And instead you bring on Endo. And like you said, Chelsea had so many opportunities to win that game too before they actually do. The Enzo header I think that was like right before they end up scoring.
Yeah.
They looked on top of us, and the Endo sub didn't help, which just makes it annoying. It questions Slot just because you're like what are you seeing like that you felt that this was necessary? And then we end up losing the game. And Cucurella puts in a cross to Estevao, a child. He's a child. And it's crazy. You see before the ball is played to him, you see he's at the back post on Andy Robertson's side, and you see Andy on his knees. Not his knees, but his hands on his knees. He looks like he injured himself. He looks exhausted. I don't know what happened to him after the game.
Yeah, I think he must have picked up a knock. But
okay.
If you're hurt, lay down.
Get on the ground.
Yeah.
Get on the ground.
Certainly don't do what you did, which was let Estevao waltz right past you and tap into an open net. And we were talking pre-pod, but I want to talk about now how the pass to Cucurella, which that was Chelsea's left, our right, Mo Salah's side. And Mo doesn't defend. That's fair enough.
Never will.
He doesn't defend.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bring that up. But that's also the side that saw Konate and Bradley become Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, 2 midfielders, not defenders by trade, not necessarily the best defensive instincts, and in front of them was Endo. And so we have 3, and Curtis Jones was in the area too. We really had 4 midfielders, all within 5 to 7 yards of each other. And behind all 4 of them is Cucurella, just essentially in that sprinter starting stance, waiting for the ball to get passed because he's in so much space and he's onside. and no one is tracking the run. No one is closing down the man.
There's no communication. Like usually, like when we had Henderson, you would hear him barking out orders, and Virgil does that too. But I'm like, guys, there has to be better leadership on the field. Like you just have to communicate these things. If you see an open player and there's three of you in the box, kind of just letting the game basically happen to you, it's so infuriating.
Yeah, and again, and it's the 95th.
Yeah,
you're under the cosh. It's away at Chelsea. It's a tough away game. You were saying, I think, that we haven't won there since 2020. Yeah. So, and we weren't going to win there today, Saturday. Point being, like, you got 90 seconds. Like, see it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, obviously, Gakpo? I haven't quite gotten over it.
Like, I don't know. I guess Andy Robertson was there by himself on that end. I don't know. Again, if a wave after wave of attacks has been coming, maybe your forward should maybe sit back a little bit, help defend. Whereas Gakpo back there?
Novel idea.
And it's just annoying too, because it was another back post, or like another, because it happened against Crystal Palace and it happened against Chelsea. James, we end up losing this game. Like we said at the top, 3 on the bounce. The positive thing is that we are still in second place. We are a point behind Arsenal. We are a point above Tottenham. So it's a little tight. It's a little squeaky up there. How are you feeling?
Well, I am feeling okay in spite of the rant that I was just going on to end that game. I mean, I really didn't expect us to squeeze 50 minutes of juice out of that brutal game to watch. But here we are. We've got sort of a dry, desiccated husk of a game left over, but I'm feeling okay. I think that at least offensively, you can see the signs. Like, it seems like that corner will be turned relatively soon, I would say. Maybe not necessarily.
It has to be soon.
Well, that's true. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but I expect us to beat United. We're home. United are awful.
James.
That's our game coming up. You want to knock on wood. That's our game coming up after the break.
Yes.
But whether it happens there or it happens in the week or two following, I think the offense will start to click into gear. But I don't see what's going to make a big difference defensively. The press is off. It's not cohesive. You can't not press actively and play such a high line. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I know.
And Gravenberch, but on his own, isn't able to handle sort of like the defensive workload. So I'm not sure what tweak Slot's going to make to fix the defense.
Yeah.
So how am I feeling? I'm feeling okay.
Okay, good. Yeah. I also think people are not really taking account how hard the beginning of the season has been. Like, I'm looking at the games we've played, and it's insane. We've already played, again, Bournemouth, amazing. I think that was probably...
Bournemouth are in 4th.
That is our best win by far. We were so... I can't believe we won that game. We then played Newcastle. Extremely difficult. And there's this whole narrative with Isak. They came out for blood. We then play our title rivals Arsenal. Insane. We then play the exhausting Burnley, who don't play. We then play Atletico Madrid, Everton, Southampton, whatever, Crystal Palace, Galatasaray, and now Chelsea. That is an insane grouping of games. And also, those were the last 3 all away. We haven't played home since Southampton.
We had Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, away to Turkey, and then away again.
Yeah.
Which, look, I guess sometimes the cards are going to fall that way, but it's tough to have 3 aways with 1 in the middle is as far as you could travel, across Europe.
Yeah. And again, obviously, like, it'll be fine. Like, like, there will be a stretch of weeks where our schedule looks pretty good. But, like, in comparison to Arsenal, they just played West Ham, and then they play Fulham next. Right?
It feels like they play Fulham every week. I don't know.
Seems like it, James. It really does. Their schedule looks pretty, dare I say, pretty easy. So I don't know if they're going to relinquish the first place spot, but that's okay. That's none of our concern. But
our business is ours. We just got to win our games. We got to stop the slide.
Exactly.
And see where we are at the end of October, really.
Again, and the slide being second place, 1 point behind first. It's just it's unfortunate, but it's not that like the people that are calling for Slot to be fired or that they miss Jurgen Klopp. They're all versions, James. They're all these like 13-year-old boys sitting by their computer who haven't watched enough games to fill up.
Go on.
I don't know. I'm done.
A box?
But the box. Let's fill up a box.
I like your virgin shout. I think that there are a lot of what's it called? Chronically online.
I had
virgins that were.
I had to get off Twitter for this exact reason. I was just getting.
Well, you stopped being a virgin.
Well, that helped a lot.
Right,
that helped a lot.
That'll get you off Twitter quick.
Exactly. Yeah. So at first I stopped becoming a virgin, then I deleted my Twitter, and then it's just like a.
And then you started a podcast. Now you're essentially a virgin again.
Exactly. I'm slipping back into it. But no, I don't know. I trust Slot to figure this out. Again, we have this international break to figure this out, and as long as no one gets injured, knock on wood, I think it'll be okay.
I do too. No, I'm looking forward to. Even though we lost 3 straight games, I'm still bummed by the international break. I'm always disappointed when I know that I have got nothing to watch for 2 weeks. But it really did come at a great time because whatever tweaks Slot's going to make, he's got time to plan them. And just like any big team, all of the boys are away. They're not going to be training at the Liverpool camp, but at least they'll be. Getting extra minutes in those legs. McAllister, Isak, Ekitike, those are all players that I hope come back from international break in better shape than they left.
Yeah, at least they'll go back with some familiarity with like their team or for their national team. I don't know. Yeah. Hopefully it comes out as a positive or a net positive for us. But like you said, James, we have an international break, which means, oh boy, what are we going to talk about next week?
I'm not sure what we're going to talk about next week, but I know it's going to be a pretty special treat.
It's going to be a special treat. We might even have a guest.
Ooh, tease
that could be fun. But we will figure that out in due time. Definitely before the next episode.
Right, and then normally we'd end the ep previewing the upcoming game, but there's nothing.
We can. I mean, we play United at home. I am very nervous because it is going to be a back three, and we have been notoriously bad against teams that play with 3 center backs. It is Manchester United. They have been just a car crash this season, but they have won their last game. What a narrative it would be for them to win at Anfield. I would hate that. But I hope it being at Anfield and us playing Manchester United is just a big enough deal to where the players step up.
It must be. I think the other thing I think. I think a couple of things. One, I think that Manchester United is going to essentially play dead. I say think a lot, almost as much as I do think.
Right.
Manchester United, they're going to park the bus, which I can't blame them for. But their midfield is Fernandes and Casemiro, which I think combined their ages are over 100. So I'm not too worried about their legs. And I'm going to go early. I'm going to go hot and early, saying that this is the Wirtz announce yourself game. He's on the score sheet. This is the one. He's going to go play with his friends in Germany. He's going to get some confidence, get some mojo back. He's going to come back.
Yeah, he's going to put on that lederhosen, and he's going to be like, this is who I am. And he's going to come back.
He's going to say Oktoberfest.
He's going to eat a schnitzel. He's going to be a good little German boy.
He's going to slam a Currywurst.
I don't know what that is. He'd get Das Boot.
That's it. Yeah, he's going to Das that boot. Absolutely. He's going to Stein. What else? What else happens in Germany?
They have like those very famous Christmas markets, I think.
I think it might be a little early for that, to be honest. But
well, yeah, I know that. You were just asking for German things.
He's going to reminisce about being a child at a Christmas market. It's just going to feel good. It's going to feel warm.
Yeah. It'll be an eventful game, that's for sure. But James, this was an eventful game. It was not a game that we enjoyed watching, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy talking to you.
I just like every week, I feel better in spite of the performances after seeing that beautiful face.
Oh my gosh, what joy, what joy. Well, that does it from us here at Redheads. You can find us anywhere in the podcast universe at Redheads Podcast. James, I hear you're cooking up clips for the Instagram.
Get ready for a big clip week. It's going to be on the gram. I think it's going to be on YouTube too. So if you're feeling really frisky, watch us on, a couple screens at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like we've been asking, maybe you don't get this far into the episode. I don't blame you, but this time here we are listening. Give us that 5-star review. Give us that comment,
Yeah. We've gotten a few and more than 2. So that means our dads are, I think they did their due diligence. So now there's some random person that gave us 5 stars. So thank you.
Right. We've only got 2 dads.
Yeah. Okay. And like James said, subscribe, DM us, ask questions. Next week's episode, have fun. Just have fun with it. Yeah, we're having a good time over here. Next week's episode, we have no idea what we're going to talk about. Hey, we might be ranking something for all I know. We might be listing making.
You know what would be fun, actually? We might just be a few episodes short. We could do a tier ranking of our own episodes.
Yeah, we need a couple more for that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Hey, those are all S tier in my book.
I was just going to say, I know what this one is.
Oh, very good, very good. Okay, well, that does it again from us here at Redheads.
The sun sets on another beautiful ep.
Hey, James, enjoy your international break, my friend.
I'll do my best. You do the same.
All right, cheerio. Horses for courses.
Milos Gerges.